All right, history buffs, let's kick things off with a trip back in time. Did you know New York was one of the original 13 colonies? Yeah, they were like the founding fathers of, well, America. We're talking way back to 1614 when the Dutch rolled in and set up shop. They called it Fort Nassau, which later became Albany. Can you imagine calling Albany Fort Nassau? Sounds like a discount theme park, am I right? Okay folks, let's talk about the New York City subway system. It's a beast of a network, sprawling beneath the bustling streets of the Big Apple. This ain't your grandma's Sunday drive, folks. It's a chaotic, vibrant, and sometimes overwhelming experience. We're talking the largest, the longest, the most are we there yet? Subway system on the planet. With over 6,000 cars and 24 lines, it's a true marvel of urban engineering. With 250 miles of track, it's like a metal spaghetti monster under the city that never sleeps. Imagine navigating this labyrinth daily. And you know what's even crazier? The sheer diversity of people and stories you encounter on every ride. Some brave souls actually attempt the subway challenge where they try to visit all 472 stations in one go. It's a test of endurance and strategy. The current record? A speedy Swiss woman named Kate Jones who crushed it in May 2023. She completed the challenge in just under 22 hours, setting a new Guinness World Record. Chapter 4. Capital. For a hot minute. Before Washington, D.C. got its act together, New York City was the capital of the United States. That's right, from 1785 to 1790, NYC was where it was at. Can you imagine the founding fathers hailing cabs and arguing over the best bagels? Give me liberty, or give me a schmear? It's probably for the best they moved to D.C. though. Can you imagine the traffic? Chapter 5. Pizza Pilgrimage. Calling all pizza lovers. Did you know the very first pizzeria in the United States opened its doors in New York City? Lombardi's, established in 1895, is still serving up delicious slices of heaven to this day. That's over 100 years of cheesy goodness. Next time you're in the city that never sleeps, make sure you grab a slice and pay homage to the OGs of pizza. Chapter 6. 8 million strong and counting. New York City is packed. We're talking 8 million people crammed into those 5 boroughs. That's more people than the entire population of Australia and Switzerland combined. It's like a giant human Tetris game, but instead of blocks, it's people, and instead of points, you get to live in New York City. Chapter 7. Woodstock? Not in Woodstock? Alright, time for a music history lesson. The legendary Woodstock Music Festival, the one that defined a generation, wasn't actually held in Woodstock. Nope, it went down on a dairy farm in Bethel, New York. Can you imagine cows chilling out to Jimi Hendrix? Chapter 8. Fighting for Equality. New York has always been a hotbed of activism, and the fight for women's rights is no exception. The very first Women's Rights Convention was held in Seneca Falls, New York, back in 1848. These brave women paved the way for generations to come, and we salute them. The Emerald Isle of the West. Back in 1850, New York City had a higher Irish population than Dublin itself. The Irish potato famine and political turmoil led many to seek a new life across the pond, and New York City welcomed them with open arms. So next time you're enjoying a pint of Guinness on St. Patrick's Day, remember the Emerald Isle's impact on the Big Apple. Chapter 10. Hold your horses, because this one's utterly fascinating. New York State is home to a whopping 18,000 cattle farms. That's a lot of moose. And all those cows are hard at work, producing more dairy products than 47 other states. So, next time you're enjoying a scoop of ice cream or a cheesy pizza, remember the hard-working cows of New York. Chapter 11. New York City is a melting pot of cultures, and that's reflected in its incredible linguistic diversity. Over 800 languages are spoken in the city that never sleeps. That's more languages than there are countries in the world. Walking down the street is like taking a trip around the globe, one conversation at a time. Chapter 12. Times Square, the dazzling heart of New York City, wasn't always a beacon of flashing lights and Broadway shows. It was named after the New York Times, which released its first issue back in 1851. So next time you're dodging tourists in Times Square, remember the newspaper that gave the iconic location its name. Believe it or not, New York City is a haven for birds. Nearly a quarter of North America's bird species can be spotted flitting about the city's parks and green spaces. Central Park in particular is a birder's paradise, so keep your eyes peeled, and you might just spot a rare feathered friend. The Brooklyn Bridge, that iconic symbol of New York City, is older than you might think. This engineering marvel opened in 1883, making it 11 years older than London's Tower Bridge. That's right, the Brooklyn Bridge was holding it down before London even had its iconic bridge. The Statue of Liberty, a gift from France, didn't arrive in New York Harbor fully assembled. Nope, this lady took a while to get ready for her close-up. She was shipped in 350 pieces to Philadelphia in the early 1880s, and then moved to New York in 1885. Talk about a long-distance move. Chapter 16, License to Drive and Innovate. New York was ahead of the curve when it came to cars. It was the first state to require license plates way back in 1901. Of course, back then you had to make your own license plate. Can you imagine the DIY projects? Honey, pass the glitter glue, I'm making a license plate. Chapter 17, The Rebellious Genesee River. Most rivers go with the flow, literally flowing from north to south, but not the Genesee River. This waterway marches to the beat of its own drum, flowing from south to north. It's one of only 33 rivers worldwide to do so. Chapter 18, Hamilton's legacy lives on. The New York Post, established by Alexander Hamilton in 1803, is the longest-running newspaper in the United States. That's over 200 years of reporting the news. It's safe to say Hamilton would be very proud of his newspaper's enduring legacy. Chapter 19, The Price of Paradise. Living in New York, especially New York City, is notoriously expensive. In fact, it's the third most expensive state to live in, after Hawaii and Connecticut. But hey, the bagels, the culture, the energy, it's all worth it, right? Maybe just skip avocado toast for a few months. Chapter 20, Wall Street Warriors. New York City is the financial capital of the world, and for good reason. The largest and second largest stock exchanges in the world are located right here in the Big Apple. So next time you hear the phrase Wall Street, remember the bustling heart of finance that drives the global economy. Outro, that's a wrap. So there you have it, folks. 20 fun facts about New York that hopefully made you laugh, learn, and maybe even book a trip to the Empire State. From its rich history and diverse culture to its quirky facts and impressive achievements, New York truly has something for everyone. Make sure you subscribe for more fun facts about amazing places around the world.